The Refuge is also a place of community. Since '99, we've been working with homeless and street kids. And more than a meal, more than a place to stay warm, to shower, to get clothing, personal hygiene products, Refuge is a home. It's a community. I'll give you one example. We have an Adopt a Youth program for Christmas, where some of our youth are putting down things that they would like for Christmas. Sometimes it's a sweater, sometimes a new pair of jeans. There's one young man, I got a call from a donor, said, yes, I got this guy's name. And I'm a little troubled with what he wrote as his Christmas wish. And I said, well, I hope he didn't offend you. What is it? She said, well, he said on his list all he wanted was he didn't want to be alone this Christmas. He didn't want to be alone. So there's no sense of community in his life, and the Refuge has a joy being part of that. And that's why we're holding this art show tonight, to create community, to be together, to raise money for homeless and street kids through the programs of the Refuge. Every piece of art has been donated and will go to the programs of the Refuge. So be generous, ladies and gentlemen. If you give us more than the listed value of the art, we will give you a tax receipt for the rest. Our hope is that out of tonight, we'll raise $15,000 to support life-changing programs for the youth of the Refuge and for our amazing community of Oshawa and the Durham region. So with that, I'd like to invite Roger Balma, City Councillor, who's going to bring some words from the city and from the Mayor to you tonight.
Thank you, folks. What a pleasure it is to be here this evening on behalf of Mayor John Henry and the Council of the City of Oshawa. I'm joined today with Councillor Amy England, who's told me she's someone in disguise. She's not dressed as a councillor, she's dressed as an artist tonight, and she's got some really neat art over there. And somewhere in the room is former Councillor April Cullen. The theme, creating community. Clarence just touched on it. I love it. It's perfect. It's exactly what the Refuge does in Oshawa every single day, and we are blessed by their work. This community thanks the Refuge for what you do. Mayor Henry wanted me to also thank Trent University for making this fabulous facility available today, and of course thank you to all of the artists who have contributed their artwork, and to the youth for the displays we've seen around us, and for being here with us this evening. So thank you to everyone. Congratulations on this great event. And now it's up to us, folks, to open our wallets and spend lots of money to show the Refuge that we're here to encourage them and we're here to support them. So let's do that. Thank you.
Please welcome Mike Judson.
First off, I just want to start by saying this is an absolutely wonderful event that they've held there. So once again, just another round of applause for all the volunteers. So Genevieve, wherever Genevieve is, she contacted me over Facebook after I held my event. It was called Homeless for 48 Hours, and it was basically created out of curiosity. And this was years ago when I was living in Nova Scotia. I was living in a small town of 5,000 people, and I wondered why there weren't any homeless people anywhere. I couldn't see a homeless person. I'm from Toronto, so I'd been used and almost desensitized to seeing the homeless out on the streets. So as I went around the town and I started asking people, where are the homeless people, I found out about the problem of the invisible homeless. The people who do not live on the street, but they couch surf and they go from house to house and they live with their friends, and you know, I had never heard of anything like it. So I started this event called Homeless for 48 Hours to raise awareness about the problems that they were having in Nova Scotia. And we raised a lot of money, we raised a lot of awareness, and I figured, hey, let's bring it to Peterborough. The difference is that Peterborough has a visible homeless issue. It's out on the streets. People are desensitized. And believe it or not, in a town of 6,000 people, we raised almost $2,000 in 2 days. In Peterborough, we raised considerably less money. Why? I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's a factor of people are desensitized and not used to seeing it. But either way, I went out there and did it anyways. It was 2 days, so 48 hours. We went out on the streets. We slept in a tent in the woods. We did meet a lot of adversity. The places that we didn't clear to actually sit in front of every day, we were removed quickly. We were kicked out of a Tim Hortons. We were kicked out of a shopping mall. We were asked to keep moving, so we did. And all the donations came off the streets, just people, but we were just guys panhandling. We had a little box on the ground and people just came and dropped in their money. And you know what? Probably the most beneficial part of the entire thing was going to stay at the Brock Mission. It's our local mission. Much like the Refuge here in Oshawa, they have the Brock Mission in the Cameron House for men and women. We went and we ate with clients, we ate with the people there, tried to understand more about the culture. For me, I wasn't trying to pretend to be a homeless person. I was just trying to learn more about it. And I certainly did learn a lot more about it. One of the main things that stuck with me since is that it's not so much a homeless problem that has developed. It's more or less more of a mental illness or a drug addiction issue at times. And I think this is something that is swept under the rug quite often. And a lot of people refuse to want to understand or even try and comprehend what the issues are. And I know as a city councilor might know, or someone working in council, that you know, sometimes it's not always number one on the agenda to talk about. And I think that it needs to be brought further higher up on the agenda. Obviously speaking for Peterborough and not for Oshawa here, but just from what I've learned. I will say I wish everyone here, or everyone that I know could be homeless for a couple of days on the street, just to see what it's like. And there's a lot of stigma attached with it. When I was younger, I used to walk by a homeless man or a homeless woman sitting on the street, and I'd walk by and I'd say, well, why don't you have a job? You must be lazy. Now I walk by them and I see something completely different. As opposed to seeing just a personal issue, I'm seeing more of a community issue. This is something that everyone has to focus on, and if we all get together like we do tonight to help raise this money, this is something that we can help to change. And I think it's very important that we do so. So I just thought I'd share a little bit of my experience of what I had to go through, which was not even remotely close to some of the pain and hardship that a homeless person would have to endure. But it was a little taste, and it helped to open my eyes. And I'm just going to keep trying to help open other people's eyes, like the great people at the Refuge are doing today. So thank you for your time. There are other people coming to speak, and thank you very much. I appreciate it.